the denominator of a fraction is 6 greater than its numerator. So let the denominator be d and the numerator be n. So the fraction will be n over d. And we're told that the denominator is 6 greater than the numerator. So this will give us an equation. And we're told that if 4 is added to twice the numerator and twice the denominator of the same fraction, the result is 2 over 3. So this is the numerator and this is the denominator. And we're told that twice the numerator, 4 is added, and twice the denominator, 4 is added. And the result is 2 over 3. So we need to find the fraction. We can cross multiply here. So if you multiply this by this, you get 3. 2n plus 4 is equal to 2d plus 4. Let's expand. 6n plus 12 is equal to 4d plus 8. So we have 6n minus 4d is equal to 8 minus 12. That will be negative 4. If we divide through by 2, we get 3n minus 2d is equal to negative 2. Let's call this our second equation. Now let's substitute n plus 6, whatever we say, d over here. So the equation becomes 3n minus 2d, which is n plus 6, is equal to negative 2. So 3n minus 6n minus 12 is equal to negative 2. So we have 3n minus 2n minus 6 minus 12. So we have 3n minus 2n minus 12 is equal to negative 2. So 3n minus 2n will be equal to negative 2 plus 12. So n will be equal to 10. If n equals 10, then d is equal to n plus 6, which is 16. Hence, the fraction is n, which is 10 over 16. Or when we simplify it, we get 5 over 8. Alright, so we have another question here. The B part of the question. Let's tackle that. It says that the top of a cone of height 10 centimeters and base radius 7 centimeters is cut off by a plane parallel to the base. If the distance between the plane and the base is 3 centimeters, calculate the volume of the remaining object. Take pi to be 22 over 7. So we have a cone, something like this. Then we're told that it was cut off parallel to the base. So we will get something like this. Great. So if that is the case, we have a height of the cone. Then we have something like this as well. Or better still, we can do it like this. We have something like this. So we have the radius of the bigger base to be 7, and the smaller base we don't know, so let's say it is small r. Then we know that it was given that the distance here is 3 units or 3 centimeters, so the top will be 7 centimeters. Alright, so we can now calculate for the missing radius, the radius of the smaller base, using similarity. So we can see that there's a similar triangle here, something like this. We have small r, we have 7, then we have another triangle, we have big R which is 7 centimeters, and we have 10 here. So we can find the value of R. 7 over R, this over this, should be equal to this over this, 10 over 7. So 7 by 7 will be 49, will be equal to 10 by R, which is 10R. So R will be equal to 49 over 10, which is 4.9 centimeters. So the volume of the remaining portion, this area here, this volume here, we can find it by subtracting the volume of the whole cone from the volume of the upper cone, this one here. So let's do that. You're going to get something like this. Volume is equal to 1 over 3 times pi, which is 22 over 7, times radius of the bigger cone, 7 squared, times height of the bigger cone, 10, minus 1 over 3 times 22 over 7, times radius of the smaller cone, 4.9 squared, times height of the smaller cone, which is 7 centimeters. So we need to simplify this, and this one is simplified to 513.33 recurring. Then minus, when we simplify what is here, we are obtaining 176.07. 176.07. So when we evaluate that, we are going to get 337.26 to 2 decimal places. A total of 90 students selected from some schools for science and math quiz were asked to indicate the meal they prefer: banku, rice, and fufu. The results show that 63 like banku, 55 like rice, and 15 fufu. 13 like banku only, 8 rice only, 5 fufu only, and 22 like all the 3 meals. Draw a Venn diagram to illustrate the information. Find the number of students who liked banku and rice, only 2 of the meals, none of the 3 meals. So let's have a look at it. So let's first of all draw the Venn diagram. So the universal set is 90 because we have 90 students. Then the number who like banku is 63. Number who like rice, 55. Number who like fufu, 50. Those who like banku only is this region here. And those who like rice only is this region here. And those who like fufu only, this region here, they are 5. Then those who like all the 3 meals are 22 in the middle here. We can see that. So we are done drawing the Venn diagram. Now we can use this diagram to actually find the missing values here. So let's call these x, y, and z. So when we take the set for Banku, we can add x to z. Okay, when we take the set for rice, we can add x, y, 22, and 8. So that will give us x plus y plus 8 plus 22, that will be 30, is equal to 55. So x plus y will be 55 minus 30, and that will be equal to 25. Then again, when we take the set for Fufu, we have z plus y plus 5 plus 22, 27 is equal to 50. So z plus y will be equal to 50 minus 27, that will be 23. We can leave it like this. We have second equation here. We have a first equation here. So we need a third equation using the set for Banku. So when we add x and z, then 22 and 13 will give us 35, and that should give us 63. So x plus z will be equal to 63 minus 35, and that will give us 38. So we have the third equation here. Is it 38? It's supposed to be 28. So we have three equations that we have to solve. We can make y the subject in one of the equations. Let me make y the subject in equation 2. So in equation 2, y will be equal to 23 minus z. Now let me put this equation, equation 4, into equation 1. So if that is the case, I'm going to get y. I'm continuing at the top here. So I'm going to get y minus 23. So I have x here. So y is 23 minus z is equal to 25. So x minus z will be equal to 25 minus 23, which is 2. So I have another equation here. Let me call it equation 5. And you know something? I'm going to solve equation 5 and equation 3 because they have the same set of variables. So x plus z is equal to 28. Now let's add the two equations. This is equation 3. When we add the two equations, the one of the variables will run away. So x plus x will be 2x. Then 2 plus 28 will be 30. So obviously, when we divide through by 2, we get x to be 15. If x is 15, then y, if x is 15, then we can substitute 15 here to find z. So z will be equal to 28 minus 15, and that will be equal to 13. Then again, we can find y. When you put 13 into this equation here, we will get y to be equal to 23 minus 13, and that will be equal to 10. So we had y to be 10. Remember, y is here, and we had it to be 10. So we have 10 here. Then x was here, and we had 15 for x. Then we have 13 for Z. So we need to add this region. Let me shade that region so that you can see it well. This region. So Banku and Rice is the shaded region, which is 22 plus 15. And that will give us 37. Then we have only two of the meals. So only two of the meals, we are going to add this to this to this. So only two of the meals is equal to 15 plus 10 plus 13. And that will give us 30. Is it 38 or 48? 48. This is 48. We have 28 plus, so that will give us 38, not 48. Then none of the three meals. So to find none of the three meals, what you're going to do is that we will add all the numbers in the regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So none of the meals, let's say it is n. When we add n to 13, then we add it to 15, we add it to 8, to 22, to 13 again, to 5, to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To the nth one, to the 8th one, which is n, should be equal to 90. So we get n plus 86 is equal to 90. And n is equal to 90 minus 86, which is 4. So 4 students do not like any of the three meals. The marks obtained in a test by 40 pupils are as follows. We have to construct a frequency table using the class intervals 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. And we have to draw a histogram for the distribution, then use the histogram to find the mode, and then calculate the mean of the distribution. If you want to check the solution for all the other questions, you can check the video description below. So to construct a frequency table using this class interval, our table will be looking like this. So we got this midpoint here by adding 10 and 19, dividing it by 2. 10 plus 19 is 29, divided by 2 will give us 14.5. So that is what we do. Then we keep adding 10, 10, 10, which is the class width, until we get to the final one here, which is 84.5. Then we calculate the total frequency to be 40, and we find the frequency times the class midpoint. So 2 times 14.5 will give us 29. 12 times 34.5 will give us 414. 1 times 54.5 will give us 51.5. 2 times 84.5 will give us 169. So the total of the frequencies is 1920. So we can now draw a histogram using the upper class boundaries over here. We can draw the bars as follows. So we can now evaluate the mode by drawing the line on the highest bar here, and we can see that will take us to 35. Hence the mode is 35 marks. So we are done with the C part of the question. the D part says we should calculate the mean of the distribution. So recall that the mean is given by, so mean is equal to summation of the frequencies times x over summation of f. So summation of the fx, it gives us 1920. So we have 1920 divided by 40. And when we simplify this, we will get the mean mark to be 48 marks. A scientist invented two robots for display in a competition. The first robot picks a parcel from a point X on a bearing of 350 degrees to deliver at point Y, a distance of 8.5 meters. The second robot picks another parcel from X on a bearing of 75 degrees to deliver at point Z, a distance of 5.6 meters. Illustrate the information in a diagram. So remember that this bearing here was 350. So the angle that is left over here will be 10 degrees. Then also the bearing here is 75. So the angle YXZ is 85 degrees. 10 plus 75 is 85 degrees. Can use the cosine rule, which says that if you have a squared to be equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a, where a is the angle opposite the side a. So if this is a and this is b and this is c, then we are going to get a, which is yz, to be equal to b squared, which is 8.5 squared, and then plus 5.6 squared minus 2 times 8.5 times 5.6 cos of the angle opposite the side A, which is the angle here, 85 degrees. So we have to simplify this to obtain the value of A. So A squared will be equal to 72.25 plus 31.36 minus, now all of this will give us 95.2 times 0.0872 to 4 decimal places. So when we simplify this, we are getting 103.61 minus 8.3944. So A squared will be equal to 95.30856. So A will be equal to square root of 95.30856, which is equal to 9.762. The distance between the two robots at their points of delivery is 9.76 meters. So using the sine rule, we know that sine of the angle here, let me call it theta. Sine of this angle theta over, we have the side opposite that angle is 8.5 meters. It will be equal to 9.8. It will be equal to sine of the angle, which is the known angle here, 85 degrees over 9.8. So that is the sine rule for you. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, or sine C over C. So that is what we are using here. So we have to evaluate this, and we know sine theta will be equal to sine 85 degrees times 8.5 over 9.8. And when we evaluate that, we are getting 0.8640. So theta will be equal to the sine inverse of 0.8640, which is giving us it is giving us 59.77 degrees to 2 decimal places, or approximately 60 degrees. So we got the angle here to be approximately 60 degrees. So we can find the bearing of y from z. So that bearing, we measure it from this point till we meet this line here. So we know this is supposed to be 25. The angle here is supposed to be 15. It's supposed to be 15 because 15 plus 75 will give you 90. Because this angle here is 75. So it means that the small angle here is 15 degrees because alternate angles are equal. So if it is 15 degrees, it tells us that the small angle over here, the angle over here, if this is 15, and this one over here will be 45. So we know that from this point to this point is 90, then we have 180, then we have 270. So we add 270 to the 45 degrees here to get the bearing. So the bearing of y from z will be equal to, so this is the I part, will be equal to bearing of y from z will be equal to 270 plus 45 degrees, and that will be equal to 315 degrees to the nearest degree. The cost C of feeding students in a certain school is partly constant and partly varies as the square root of the number n of students. If it costs $640 to feed 144 students and $560 to feed 64 students, find the equation connecting C and n. We can write the equation as C is equal to A plus B square root of n. We're told that 640 is able to feed 144 students. So 640 is equal to A plus B square root of 144. 640 will be equal to A plus square root of 144 is 12, so 12b. We can call this equation 1. And also, we're given that 64 students can be fed with $560. So 560 is equal to A plus B times square root of 64. So 560 will be equal to A plus 8B. We have equation 2. Let's do some subtraction here. When we subtract 560 from 640, we obtain 80. So we have 80 is equal to 4b. That is 12b minus 8b will give us 4b. Dividing through by 2, by 4 rather, we get b to be equal to 20. If b is 20, we can substitute into any of the equations to find the value of a. So let's pick equation 1. We have 640 plus a. this 40 is equal to A plus 12 times 20, and 12 times 20 is 240. So A will be equal to 640 minus 240, which is 400. So we found the equation connecting C and N, the A part of the question. That will be C equal A, which is 400, plus B square root of N. So C is equal to, that is the A part of the question, 400 plus 20 square root of N. Now we are looking at the B part of the question. The cost of feeding 196 students, that will be equal to 400 plus N is now equal to 196. So that will be equal to 20 times square root of 196. We have 400 plus 20 times 14. We have 400 plus 280. And that will give us $680. Then we have the C part of the question. The number of students that can be fed with 700. So this time C is equal to 700. We are looking for N. So 700 will be equal to 400 plus 20 square root of N. So 700 minus 400 is equal to 20 square root of N. 700 minus 400 is 300. So we have 300 is equal to 20 square root of N. Then divide both sides by 20 by 20. Then we will have square root of N is equal to 15. To find the value of N, we can square both sides. Therefore, N will be equal to 225. So let's deal with that one. We have a cylinder and the tank is filled to half. Then we're also told that the water in the cylinder is poured into the rectangular tank and it filled it completely. So we are looking for the height of the cylindrical tank, the full height. So we know that volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r square times height. Then recall that the volume of, so this is for cylinder and this is for rectangular tank. So this is equal to length times width times the height. So length times width times height. And this is equal when this is half filled. So we have half of pi, which is 22/7, times radius squared, 3.5 squared, times h is equal to 7 times 2 times 3.5. So 2 times 3.5 is 7. Times 7 will give us 77. So we have 77 meter cube here on the right hand side. Then on the left hand side, we can expand and simplify. So we had something like 1/2 times 3.5 squared, 1/2 times 22/7 times 3.5 squared, so 3.5 times 3.5 times height h. So what do? We can cancel out this 3.5, we'll get rid of this to go here 2 times. So we are going to get 22 times 3.5, and that will give us 77 over 2 times 2 will give us 4 is equal to 77. So we can multiply both sides by 4 over 77. 4 over 77. So we obtain the height to be equal to 4 meters. So the height of the cylindrical tank is 4 meters. Now let's look at the B part of the question. Given that tan x is equal to 12 over 5, where x is an acute angle, evaluate 2 cos x minus sin x over 5 cos x plus 3 sin x. So we can draw a right angle triangle like this. Then we can fix our angle here, x degrees is here. And then we're given that tan x, which is opposite. So the opposite is 12 centimeters, 12 meters, or 12 units. And the adjacent is 5 units. So the hypotenuse will be square root of 12 squared plus 5 squared, which is square root of 169, because 144 plus 25 is 169. And that will give us 13 units. So if that is 13 units, we can now find cos x and sin x. So cos x will be equal to adjacent, which is 5, over hypotenuse, which is 13. And sin x will be equal to opposite, which is 12, over adjacent, over hypotenuse, which is 13. So we can now fix all these values right here. Then we simplify. So let's do that. So we have this thing is equal to, so the 2 here, so we have 2 into bracket cos x. We found cos x to be equal to 5 over 13. So 5 over 13 minus sin x, that was 12 over 13. All over, we have 5 cos x, 5 over 13, plus 3 sin x, 12 over 13. So this will be equal to 2 times 5 is 10 minus 12. So 10 over 13 minus 12 over 13 divided by 5 times 5 is 25 over 13, then plus 36 over 13. This is division. So we are dividing this and by this. So let's simplify. We will obtain 10 minus 12 is negative 2 over 13 divided by 25 plus 36 is 61 over 13. So we multiply by the reciprocal times 13 over 61. And that will give us, so this will cancel this. We are left with negative 2 over 61. A drawer contains 2 types of pens of the same type except color. The number of blue pens in the drawer is 3 more than the square of the number of red pens. The probability of selecting at random a red pen from the drawer is 20%. If there is more than one red pen in the drawer, find the number of blue pens, the total number of pens. So we will let R be the number of red pens and B be the number of blue pens. So we're told that the number of blue pens, which is B, is equal to 3 more than the square of red pen. So R squared plus 3. We can call this our first equation. Then we're also given that the probability of selecting at random a red pen is 20%. So probability of selecting a red pen is 20%, 20 over 100. And probability of selecting a red pen is 20%. And we know that the probability of finding a red pen is number of red pens, which is R, over number of pens in the box. And or the number of pens in the drawer. So probability of selecting a red pen is equal to number of red pens over number of pens in the drawer, which is blue pens plus red pens. And that will be equal to 20 over 100, and that will give us 1 over 5. So we get 1 over 5 right here. So we have 5r is equal to b plus r, or 5 minus r, which is 4r, is equal to b. So this can be our equation 2. Let's put equation 2 in equation 1. So whenever we see b, we put 4r. So we have 4r is equal to r squared plus 3. Or in the other ways, r squared minus 4r plus 3 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation that we have to solve. So remember, we are solving r squared minus 4r plus 3 is equal to 0. Factors of 3, that when we multiply we get 3, and when we add we get negative 4r, negative 1, and negative 3. So we have r squared minus r minus 3r plus 3 is equal to 0 when we split the middle term. So r minus 1, r minus 1 is equal to 0. So r minus 3, r minus 1 equals 0. Either r minus 3 equals 0 or r minus 1 equals 0. Hence we have the red pens to be 3 or 1. But we're told that the number of red pens is more than 1. Therefore, r is equal to 1. Is equal to 3. Number of red pens is equal to 3. So if the number of red pens are 3, the number of blue pens will be 4 times 3, which is 12. Therefore, the number of blue pens is 12 blue pens. Then the total number of pens will be 12 plus 3, and that will give us 15. So we have 15 number of pens in the drawer. Let's look at the B. With the B part, we have to calculate angle FGI. In the diagram, line segment AD and line segment HE are parallel. Angle ABI is 139 degrees and angle DCI is 97 degrees. Find angle FGI. The required angle we are finding is FGI, the angle here, FGI, the angle from here. And we know that that angle is equal to this. So this is also equal to angle FGI. And it is on the same straight line as this. So by corresponding angle, this and this are equal. And by angles on straight line, this and this will add up to 180. So 139 degrees plus angle FGI is equal to 180 degrees. So angle FGI will be equal to 180 minus 139 in degrees, and that will give us 41 degrees. So the angle here is 41 degrees. Now we are asked to find angle GIC, the angle here, GIC. So angle GIC, when we add it to the angle here, which is 41 degrees, we're supposed to get the exterior angle in triangle BLC, which is 97 degrees. So angle GIC will be equal to 97 minus 41 degrees. Let's subtract. This will give us 6. This will give us 5. Let's find the required angles. Remember that we can find the missing angle here using the sum of angles on a straight line. So 95 degrees plus angle PQS, the angle here, plus 37 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. 95 plus 37 will be equal to 132. So we can solve for angle QPS, angle PQS to be 180 minus 132, and that is equal to 48 degrees. So this angle is 48 degrees. Angles in the same segment are equal. So the angle here is also 48 degrees. Again, angles in the same segment are equal. So the angle here is 37 degrees. Again, angles in the same segment are equal. So this angle is equal to the angle here, 64 degrees. So we are able to get the angle here, which is 48 plus 64. Since the quadrilateral PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral, we know that this angle plus this whole angle will be equal to 180 degrees. So we can find angle SRQ. Angle SRQ. So the I part of the question is equal to angle SRP, which is 48 degrees, plus angle PRQ, which is 64 degrees. And that is equal to 112 degrees. Now the II, we are looking for angle QPS. QPS. The angle over here. When we add that angle and the angle here, we should get 180 degrees. The reason is that opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral will add up to 180 degrees. So angle QPS plus 112 degrees should be equal to 180 degrees. We got a 112 from here. So angle QPS will be equal to 180 minus 112, all in degrees, and that is equal to 68 degrees. And finally, angle QPR, 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 the angle here will be equal to, we can find that angle using triangle PQR, or we can subtract 37 degrees from the 68 degrees angle here. So angle QPR will be equal to 68 degrees minus the 37 degrees, and that will be equal to 31 degrees. Let's now calculate the B part of the question. Let's solve the B part of the question. If log A equal 2, log B equal 3, and log C equal -1, evaluate log square root of A cube times B over C cube. This is what we are going to do. We will pick log square root of A cube times B over C squared. So this will be equal to log a cubed b over c squared exponent 1 over 2. Let's apply the laws of logarithm now. So the exponent comes to multiply the whole thing. So 1 over 2 log a cubed b over c squared. So this will be equal to 1 over 2. We have a division here, this divided by this. So we apply the division rule of logarithm. So this is what you're going to do. The whole thing will be equal to log a cubed b minus log c squared. Then we can further simplify. We apply the multiplication rule here. So we have log a cubed minus plus log b. Then we have minus log c squared. So we can further proceed. Applying the power rule again, we have 3 log a plus log b minus 2 log c. So this will be equal to 1 over 2. We're given that log a is 2, so 3 times 2 plus log b is 3. Then we have minus 2 times negative 1. So this will be equal to 1 over 2. We have 6 here plus 3, 9. 9 plus 2, 11. Half of 11, which is 5.5.